Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Shareef on the Hour of Power. It's been a while since I've uploaded any information and videos here on the Hour of Power YouTube channel. I apologize for that. Been very busy with my TV show and other things, and I'm going to try to do better with keeping this channel going with information. This podcast, so to speak, is entitled LeBron James is America's Worst Nightmare. LeBron James is America's worst nightmare. What I mean by that is it don't have nothing to do with basketball. Well, you could say it is, but the point that I'm trying to make that he's America's worst nightmare is what he represents off the court. Now, because of the activism that has been going on for the last couple of months, mainly the death of George Floyd, and it's been other things that LeBron James has involved himself with, social activism, and now it seems to be a little more political. But either way, professional athletes have been fast asleep for a while, and now it's a rejuvenation when it comes to social activism, and LeBron James is very much responsible for that. But my point tonight, saying LeBron James is America's worst nightmare, is more of his domestic life. He is married to a black woman, his high school sweetheart. They have a structured family. No scandals with him. He came from humble beginnings with a single black mother, single family home. Came up through the ranks with high school. Again, ended up marrying his high school sweetheart. He's met all the expectations and more in the NBA. No scandals, no drinking and driving, no violence, no domestic violence. Again, married his high school sweetheart, and she happens to be a black woman. A lot of these athletes, for some reason, think that they're not full, they're not whole, unless they marry a white woman. LeBron James has done no such thing. He's married a black woman and has created a beautiful black family. 2 boys and a girl, I think. Wonderful brother. This is America's worst nightmare because so many young black boys look up to these athletes. And the last thing they want them looking up to is a black man who has a structured family, because they want us to operate off of a dysfunction, because America capitalizes off of black America's dysfunction. This is facts. Typically, when you have a broken family, so many other negative things happen within the family, which spills out to our community, that this wicked country capitalizes off of. A dysfunctional and broken family. I've been working with youth for many years. Excuse me. Doing counseling and therapy. And when I used to do group counseling in North Carolina, I used to have a caseload of 100 children. And out of those 100 children, easily 90 to 95 of them had broken families and no father in the home, which led into behavior problems, which led into the school system medicating them or over-medicating them. Getting into crime, getting into trouble, all behind a broken family. LeBron James has a structured family. It may not be perfect, but it's structured. And the streets is watching, as Jay-Z used to say. They want our youth, this generation right now, they want them to view dysfunction. That's why you see so many dysfunctional black TV shows on now. And this isn't just for the youth. This affects the whole community. Power, Greenleaf, and it's some others that I can't think of right now. All these shows, most of the shows that you see on TV now are shows that display dysfunctional black families. Black men cheating on black women cheating on black men. They scheming against each other. A bunch of screwing and drug dealing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. These buffooning and clowning black TV shows. And those are the ones that come to my mind that people been going crazy over. These dysfunctional black families. They don't want you to view functional black families. They want you to view dysfunction. They want to display black men in one of the two or three or a combination of the both. Drug dealers, being abusive, in jail, or homosexual. Tyler Perry. Sir, do you really have to dress like a woman to get your point across? That's what they want. They don't want you to see no strong black man being a leader, uplifting a black woman, and being functional and together. They want the opposite. LeBron James does no such thing. He is truly America's worst nightmare. Because if these young brothers view his life outside of basketball and start looking at his domestic life, how he functions with his family, marrying a black wife, then maybe they'll start following suit, and they don't want that. Doesn't matter if he's the GOAT. What matters is his domestic life, because that's what the Most High is going to look at, not whether he was the GOAT or Michael Jordan was the GOAT. I grew up watching Michael Jordan. If I had to compare the two, I would have to say basketball-wise that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. 6 championships. Think he was the MVP in all of them. Was 6-0 in the finals. 3-peat twice. It's still debatable. But I would have to say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But as far as activism, standing up for our people, other than Muhammad Ali, I would say LeBron James is the GOAT A. And Muhammad Ali is the GOAT. But he's right there behind him. And when we close our eyes, when our chapter of life is over, and our date is coming, we all got a date with destiny. God is not going to be worried about Michael Jordan's 6 championships or whatever else he did. He may have the better career, he may be the better player, but LeBron James is the better person. He could easily be ripping and running the streets and sleeping probably with whoever he wants. But to our knowledge, our brother has done no such thing. And he could do it. Bums is pulling 3 and 4 women these days. Weak body men is pulling 3 and 4 and 5 women these days. What do you think LeBron James could do if he wanted to? But he has honored his wife. And he deserves to be recognized for this. Married his high school sweetheart and has created a beautiful black family. America's worst nightmare. They don't want us to see this. Again, they want us to see dysfunction. All these buffooning and clowning shows showing us as thugs and infidelity. At a Wire, that's another one. Some cat sexually assaulting and abusing other men in prison. He's the star of the show, and that was glamorized. This Wire. Another dysfunctional show. Another dysfunctional display of black men. LeBron James is America's worst nightmare. And now I even heard some demon say that he's tainting the NBA and he's not carrying the torch and representing the NBA like those before him, meaning Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan. This is what I heard some commentators say about LeBron James because of his social activism and his involvement with politics with the Black Lives Matter. Say he's not carrying the torch like those before him. No, what he really meant to say is he's not a buffoon and a clown and being silent on issues like those before him. That's what he really meant to say. He's not buffooning and clowning, scratching where it don't itch, laughing at things that ain't funny. And he's speaking up and he's not being silent like those before him, because silence means you agree. And all those before him, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, they ain't said nothing about the suffering of black people. Not a damn thing. And that's why they were acceptable. And now that's why they're giving LeBron James a little flack, because he's going against the grain. We salute you, LeBron James, for giving us such a wonderful example of a black family. Because again, they want to show dysfunction. He's truly America's worst nightmare. And keep giving them fits, brother. We support you, those who are in the know. And they will go to any extent, again, to show us dysfunction. Especially these youths with these impressionable minds. They don't want that. They don't mind the basketball version of LeBron James, up and down the court and dunking and all that. That's not much of a threat. Even though he is bringing activism into the NBA, which we salute him for. We salute brothers like Jalen Rose, who's opening schools and charter schools for inner city youth there in Detroit. We salute Warwick Dunn for supplying housing for single black mothers in the inner cities, I believe mostly in Atlanta. Those are the brothers that I can think of the most that are really making a difference. And I'm sure it's others, but those are the ones that come to my mind. And we need more brothers like that. They're going to step up and speak out and can't be bought, like Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. They disgust me because I used to look up to them, and now the powers that be have co-opted them. They're co-opted, buffooning and clowning on national TV to make the white man happy. Talking about Breonna Taylor's death is justified. And it's not like the others. That's what this buffooning and clowning stepping fetcher Charles Barkley said recently about the death in the lynching of Breonna Taylor. He is a co-opted, buffooning and clowning, stepping fetching Negro. And Shaquille O'Neal ain't too far behind him. Very disgusted. I don't have much else to say. I just wanted to salute our brother for giving us such a wonderful example of a black family and honoring his black queen and being such a great example for his kings and his little princesses. I think he has one girl. So his princess and his little princes that he has, young brothers. And not because he's a basketball player, but because he is a father. And a father is someone that can take you further in life, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, educationally. That is what a father is, because within the word father, you get further. A dad is just a sperm donor. We salute you, LeBron James, because you are truly America's worst nightmare. They don't like this. They don't like this, especially a black man honoring his black queen. So this message for the hour of power. We salute LeBron James, and it's called LeBron James is truly America's worst nightmare. If we stick together as a family, we can be so powerful because the powers that be, they capitalize off of our division. When you have divided black families, broken families, the chances increase for these demons to capitalize off of our shortcomings. Behavior problems in school, crime, drug abuse, drug addiction, incarceration, poor performance in school. I've seen it. Heard it all before. We know this is true. But if these young brothers who are watching LeBron James, and not just his basketball prowess, but how he carries himself off the court and domestically, maybe this next generation will repeat what he is doing by having a strong, structured family. This is the Hour of Power. Look out for more podcasts coming in the near future. I'm going to try to keep them coming on this YouTube channel, and I appreciate the support of those who have been watching these messages. Peace and blessings.